So today I'm gonna do a kind of different video. I'm going to tell you about a story from when I would say this takes place around 99 to 2001. So I was roughly 10 years old, something like that. And this is my old binder from when I was, about that age where I saved my hockey cards. And these are basically the cards that I have when I was a kid. And of course, you always had your best cards here in the front. So I'm not going to talk about what's in this binder so much, but I'm going to talk about what happened when I was roughly 10 years old. So my parents have a summer house on the west coast of Sweden, and there I had many friends, and we used to play soccer. We used to play inline hockey, floorball outside, a lot of stuff. We used to collect hockey cards as well, and and soccer cards. Everything. We did a lot of fun stuff. There were two guys living there who were brothers. One was born at the same year as I was, 1990, and then he had a younger brother, and then there were some other kids as well. So at one time, these two brothers were in my house, in my room at my parents' summer house with me, and we were looking at hockey cards, etc. And I just noticed when I was looking at my fold, I just don't know how it came to happen, but I just looked at my folder. Sorry, not folder, not my in my binder, and I could just see that something was not correct. I'm not really sure if I noticed that any cards were missing, but I just noticed that something here was wrong. I can see here that there are some cards, like I don't have any card here. I don't have a card on these places here. But it was nothing like that. It was like I had all the pages like this. They were filled with cards, but something was wrong, I discovered. And I remember from school that there had been an incident where, Pokemon cards were also big at this time. So if this is like a little backstory to this, and in school, there was somebody who, at the schoolyard, he thought that somebody had stolen his Pokemon cards. So he took the binder from the person he suspected of, stealing the cards. And then he just checked all the cards to find the Pokemon cards that was stolen, perhaps. So I actually told my friends that I wanted to check in their binder if my cards were there, because I just thought that I was missing some cards, and perhaps I had figured out, oh yeah, I missed, where did that card go and where did that card go? I just didn't know. So I asked my friend if I could check his binder, and then I remember what he told me in Swedish, but I will translate, of course. And he said, if you find it in my binder, you cannot blame us. Something like that. You can't blame us if you find it in our binder. So I said, just okay. And then I just started to check in their binder. And what happened is that I found that they had actually taken one whole of this. I don't know what you say. What do you call it? A whole page? A whole page. So all the cards on one page, they had just done just like that, and just taken perhaps my favorite cards that I had on one page and just taken it out and just put it back on in their binder. So what happened after that was that I just took it back. And as far as I remember, that was it. We did not discuss it anymore. That was just something that happened. And as far as I know, it didn't happen any time afterwards either. That they didn't take, that they did not try to steal my hockey cards. I'm kind of happy that I didn't make anything more of it, because we were good friends before and we were good friends after. I just caught them stealing hockey cards from me once, and I took them back. And that was it, basically. One of the older brother, who was in my age, he actually died in a car crash 2012. So not that I would bring it up to him anyway, but that was basically how it unfolded. There was another kid also at this place. I should see if I could get that binder. And he, let's see here. Just trees, if I can find. Yeah, this is it. And this was about the Swedish. This was, I guess, a couple of years later or so. So these are some Swedish hockey cards now that you see, that perhaps I will show in a future video. And then there was a card that all of a sudden, when we were trading hockey cards, disappeared from me. Very strange. It was this card. So this was a Swedish goalie at the time who was very hyped up, Andreas Hadelöv. It was a card that was, I guess, harder to get. And then I remember that this kid, who was living he was not living at the same street as the others, as we did. But we were trading hockey cards, and all of a sudden, of course, that card disappeared from my binder. And I didn't have it. And I suspected so much that he had taken it from me. And I never got it back. Now I have purchased it, and it's like worthless. So, I mean, it's not worth much. But it was a card that people wanted at that time. And I never got it back. And I remember like a couple of weeks, like 1 week afterwards, this kid, he came to my house and, knocked on the door, like he had not, I mean, we were like 10, 11, so we did not have mobile phones or stuff like that. So I had no idea he was coming. And then he knocked on the door, and I was thinking, oh, so now he will come and confess and give back my hockey card. But then he invited me to his birthday party, something like that. So, which was disappointing and a fun event to look forward to, I guess. So, yeah, this one I never got back, but I found it later. So, some sad stories, I guess, that people were stealing hockey cards, but I guess kids did that because when you're a kid, you're not that smart. You don't have the You can't think about the consequences of stealing so much when you're a kid. So I guess kids are stealing from each other and lying. And actually, I never did it myself, I can really say, but yeah, this happened. And this is actually my oldest binder, by the way, when I have it here. And you can see all of this glue on this. That is because when I was like 6 or 7 years old, I took some hockey cards and I glued them on the front until I figured out it was kind of stupid, and then I removed them. But you know, the glue is still there. So yeah, but this is actually my oldest binder, and this is the binder I received like 1 or 2 years later. But yeah, that was a little story.